For the latest information regarding the COVID-19 pandemic in Cupertino, please visit cupertino.org/coronavirus.
Hi everybody, thank you for joining us. I'm Larry Little. COVID-19 has impacted all of us in some kind of way, but some communities have been hit harder than others. And this morning, we begin with a focus on the county's efforts, mainly in East San Jose and South County, to combat COVID-19 and educate business owners and communities on slowing the spread of COVID-19. I'm joined this morning by Melina Torres from the Business Engagement Team, and in just a few moments she will be sharing information on this new outreach program. But first, we want to let you know that prior to this segment we have removed our face coverings so everyone, including our American Sign Language interpreters, can clearly understand and properly communicate the information that we will be sharing this morning. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Larry. I know my team is very excited to finally get the word out there and let businesses know that we're there for them, there to help them. Yeah,
I had the opportunity of actually going out with my coworker Carolyn to see what you all do, and it was pretty fascinating. You all met in the park in Willow Glen and then went out for the day. So just tell me, what is the role of the Business Engagement Team?
So the Business Engagement Team primarily focuses on providing education and resources for businesses in regards to the pandemic, and how to run their business during this time. We understand that things, the public health order is constantly changing. It's been changing a lot for the past few months and may foster a lot of confusion. So it's important for us to be able to provide that education for those businesses in communities where COVID-19 has heavily impacted them.
Mm-hmm. So why is this work important?
This work is important because the communities that are heavily affected by COVID-19 are communities that may not have the best access to the education that they need. So it's our job to go to these communities and make sure that we bridge any gap between the county and the businesses in regards to the new public health order and the new distancing protocol.
So what type of businesses are you visiting? I know the day I went out with the team, we went to dry cleaners as well as a laundromat. And we also had some business owners come out and meet the team and say, what are you doing? And they wanted information as well. So tell me about the types of businesses that you're going to.
So we actually go to businesses all throughout the county. We try to target the areas and zip codes that have the highest rates of COVID. We try to also target small businesses, not big corporate businesses, because most likely those businesses do have support from HR and corporate in regards to social distancing protocols. So we do target small businesses. We've been, to a lot of local restaurants, like you mentioned, laundromats. We've been, pizza places, lots of different places. But we try to, like I said, target small businesses to make sure that they also have the resources that bigger corporate businesses might have.
So I'm going to flip this computer around just for a moment. And so tell me, we went out, took video of a typical engagement. So talk about the typical engagement here. Yeah,
so we'll start off by walking into a business. We'll ask to speak to a manager. If a manager is not available, we mention that it's equally important to talk to the employees so they're aware of the protocol. One of the main things that we check when we go into the business is to make sure that they have the social distancing protocol form filled out, which is that form with the green check mark. And depending on whether the business or not has it, that really helps to guide our conversation. If they don't have the protocol form, we'll educate them on where to obtain it. And later, when I'm going over the specific resources we give them, I'll show you where we guide them to get the social distancing protocol. And if they do have the protocol form, we'll commend them for complying with county guidelines. We'll also observe the business and make sure, there's foot markings in place to show social distancing, make sure that the employees and clients are wearing masks. And we also have conversations with the employees in regards to how they're feeling. Do you feel safe, concerned, or scared in the workplace? Do you feel that your business is doing everything possible to stay safe? So it's not just about looking at the business as a whole, complying. It's also about engaging with the employees and making sure that their individual needs are being met as well.
So are the business owners receptive to you all? I know it can be
Yeah.
pretty difficult because some of the businesses have been closed for some time now, and mainly the small businesses. I think one of the business owners that you all talked to when I went out, they were having some issues where they needed to apply for loans. So how is the reception of the business engagement team when you go out into the community?
For the most part, it goes pretty well. We understand the frustration of a lot of business owners. We feel that they lose hope when we go to them. They're like, oh, well, I've tried everything I could, but I'm about to close my business. We just need to open back up. But for the most part, they're very grateful for the resources that we do give them. We give them resources so they could apply for grants, as well as guide them to places where if they need more PPE, they could get that as well. At first, there's some businesses that, they're a bit apprehensive because they think that we're an enforcement team, but we are not an enforcement team at all. We're just there for educational purposes only. We're actually trying to prevent, the enforcement team from coming over to make sure that they're complying with guidelines.
Yeah, and that's one great thing about the county. We do have an enforcement team, but it's always education first, and a lot has been invested in this program so that we educate, because we definitely don't want to put pressure and fines on our small businesses. And of course, the main goal here is to keep the community safe and slow the spread of COVID. So, of course, every time there is a disaster or a pandemic, which we've never had like this, in this magnitude before, you have fraud. So there could possibly be someone posing as someone from the business engagement team going out to the community. So what can business owners look for to verify that it's actually somebody from the business engagement team?
Yeah, absolutely. That's understandable. The business team, we do carry badges with us, and in that badge, it'll have our photograph and our name. And what the business can do is ask for the name, ask for the employer. We're with Working Partnerships USA, and they can also call the phone number at the bottom of the badge, which is the business call center, and then they can ask them for our names to verify that we're with the business engagement team.
Okay, so when a business is apprehensive about someone coming in, just say again what they can do.
Yeah, so they could go ahead and call that number at the bottom, the business call center. They can ask for the name, which should be on the badge, our name, the name of the employer. It's Working Partnerships USA. And with that business call center, they can just verify that we're part of the business engagement team.
Okay, so talk about some of the resources that you provide for these businesses when you go out.
Yeah, absolutely. We carry these little COVID kits with us that we provide to every business. We start off by mentioning this postcard. And like I stated earlier, the first thing that we check in a business is to make sure that they have the social distancing protocol form, which is this green check mark right here. And if the business doesn't have it, we tell them, it's okay. We're not here to punish you or fine you. You just visit this top website, which is covid19prepared.org. It takes about 10 minutes to fill out. It just asks for the basic information of the business, and as well as a checklist that they have to check off just to make sure that they're complying with all the county guidelines. And then this postcard also has the business call center number. That's the one I mentioned earlier from our badge, just in case they have any questions in regards, to whether they need help with loans or any other financial need. They can call the business call center as well. And this postcard also has other information in regards to, where to access free testing and what to do if an employee does test positive for COVID-19. And this postcard is more for the business as a whole. We also do provide this SEC CAN hotline number, and this is for more like individuals and employees that may need help with food, housing, or unemployment, because we understand, this pandemic has hit hard to everyone, so the individual needs of the employees are important as well.
Awesome. So tell me your personal experience. Why did you get involved with this team?
I feel like part of being young is having an ambition and desire to, make a difference in the world and do well. And I really wanted to get involved somehow. And I realized that if I really wanted, to make a difference somewhere, I had to start in the community, in my own local community. I was born and raised in San Jose. So joining this team was very rewarding because I got to visit places, that I grew up visiting, and being able to help them out. That's been the best part for me.
It is awesome to be able to serve the community. I wasn't born and raised in San Jose, but I got here as fast as I could. Thank you for being here and sharing all of this helpful information, very important information today.
Okay, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you. All right, Facebook Live in Spanish comes up at 11 o'clock, and also we have Facebook Live in Vietnamese on Thursdays at 10 a.m. You can go to our website at SCC Free Test for all of the testing locations that we have across the county. Also, free flu shots. We want to get our flu shots. We don't want to be dealing with COVID and flu at the same time. So you can get flu shots tomorrow beginning at 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. at 2400 Moore Park Avenue here in San Jose. Again, that's 2400 Moore Park Avenue here in San Jose. Also, temperatures are expected to rise through on Sunday, so it's going to be very hot. You want to be aware of that. Those hot temperatures will continue through next week. So stay tuned to our social media platforms for information regarding if there will be cooling centers. That's all the information we have for today. We will see you back here on Monday at 10 a.m. Thanks for joining us. Have a safe weekend.
For the latest information regarding the COVID-19 pandemic in Cupertino, please visit cupertino.org/coronavirus.